Are all Kubernetes services in the cloud the same? In general, the Kubernetes API itself and the platform behavior will be consistent across the various cloud providers. But with that said, they each offer their own managed Kubernetes services that have varying features, pricing, and support. So at a more granular level, not all Kubernetes services in the cloud are the same, even though they're all built on the same standard Kubernetes open source platform. For some specifics, let's review the managed Kubernetes services offered by the three major cloud providers, Amazon, Google Cloud, and Azure. Let's first look at Amazon's Elastic Kubernetes Service, or EKS. EKS is deeply integrated with AWS services like IAM for authentication, CloudWatch for logging and monitoring, and AWS Fargate for serverless compute. It leverages AWS IAM for fine-grained access control, and it integrates with AWS Shield and AWS Web Application Firewall for security. It also uses the integrated AWS VPC for network isolation, providing support for both public and private subnets and the advanced networking features available on AWS. From a cost perspective, Amazon charges a fixed fee for the EKS control plane, plus you'll pay for the cost of the EC2 instances or Fargate tasks required for your workloads. Also, EKS provides automated patching and upgrades with the ability to control the upgrade process. Next, let's look at Google Kubernetes Engine, or GKE. GKE integrates seamlessly with Google Cloud services like cloud logging, cloud monitoring, and cloud build. It offers features like Google Cloud Identity and Access Management, or IAM, for authentication. GKE uses Google's global VPC for networking, and it provides advanced networking features with Google CNI and its network policies. Unlike EKS, currently the GKE control plane is free, and users only pay for the underlying compute engine instances and other associated resources. GKE also supports automated updates and provides flexible upgrade policies. Lastly, we'll talk about Azure Kubernetes Service, or AKS. AKS is integrated with Azure services such as Azure Active Directory for authentication, Azure Monitor for logging and monitoring, and Azure Container Registry. It uses Azure AD for user access and integrates with Azure Security Center and Azure Policy for its enhanced security. AKS also supports Azure VNet for network isolation and offers features like Azure CNI for advanced networking. Like GKE, there's currently no charge for the control plane. Users only pay for the virtual machines and other resources used. Like the others, AKS provides automated upgrades with the option to choose when to apply updates, and it has a wide range of controls over the upgrade process itself. So how should you choose the right Kubernetes service for your needs? First, I would recommend that if your organization is already heavily invested in a particular cloud provider, be it AWS, Google Cloud, or Azure, it generally makes sense to choose the Kubernetes service on that platform, easily integrating with the existing services, process, and the knowledge of the platform you've already obtained. Otherwise, I would suggest you consider things like availability in the regions you will be operating in, and review the SLAs for reliability and uptime guarantees. Beyond that, it may just come down to cost considerations. Cloud vendor pricing varies depending on your control plane costs, the amount of compute needed to support your workloads, and by other factors like data transfer cost and storage cost. Use the pricing information available on each vendor site to help estimate what your costs will be. In conclusion, let's cover a couple common misconceptions about cloud-based Kubernetes services. First, some assume that using a managed Kubernetes service means that no ongoing management or maintenance will be required. The reality is that even with managed Kubernetes services like EKS, GKE, or AKS, you still need to handle application configuration, security policies, networking, and maintenance. Managed services will simplify infrastructure management, but they don't eliminate the need for ongoing operational oversight. The reality is that migrating to Kubernetes can be a complex and time-consuming process that generally involves application refactoring, containerization, and configuration. A successful migration will require careful planning and testing to ensure a smooth transition. As always, to discuss this in more detail or any other topic, reach out to Ask the Team at keyholesoftware.com.